since Spacies is powered by the Ministry of Retro Gaming. Gaming pickups for February 2019.
Since Spacies.
G'day invaders and welcome to Since Spacies, and this is my pickups video, and this one is going to be for February, although we've got a bit of catching up to do. I haven't actually bought any items for my games room since last November, so yeah, a bit of catching up. We've got quite a bit to get through, so we'll get stuck right in. So one of the items I got, well, a few months back I got this, which is a Space Invaders arcade little, you know, gimmick thing that you hang up on the wall and you probably don't even touch and play again. Some people even open them up and play them, but yeah, there's that, and being Space Invaders I had to buy that. But fast forward to a couple months back, I picked up Ms. Pac-Man. Still trying to find a Pac-Man one. That is so loud. You're a sight. Yeah, so it was only like 15 bucks, so I figured, what the heck, it's just going to go with the theme of the room. And this time one of my online purchases was this Shadow the Hedgehog figurine, which I picked up online I should say, sorry. And it actually wasn't that expensive. It was like, I think $20, and it actually looks really cool. I've got something kind of similar, which is the Sonic Chasing Rings one, and they just go side by side, and yeah, they look really cool. And getting back to Space Invaders theme, I picked up myself a notepad, Space Invaders notepad. The instructions, 1 or 2 players, insert coin. Yeah, pretty cool that they've got the instructions for the actual game on the back. I don't know if I'll even use this, but it's just a nice little addition to my Space Invaders collection. One of the cool items I picked up this month was a Earthworm Jim related item, a lunchbox, Earthworm Jim lunchbox. And this is brand new. You can actually get these online if you look hard enough, and they're not overly expensive. In fact, I bought 3 of these and gave them out to one to my neighbor and one to my brother. And yeah, I highly recommend it. They kind of remind me of the old 70s Dukes of Hazzard style lunchbox and that era. The A-Team I think got one similar. So anyway, yeah, Earthworm Jim lunchbox, pretty cool. 24 megs of play action. And yeah, like just about every other man and his dingo, I went out and bought myself Smash Brothers. Been getting stuck into that. Not as hardcore as I thought I would be with this, because I guess I played the Wii U version, which is not overly different, but this is still really cool, and I like what it says on the back, everyone is here. So I got that, and I also picked up Red Dead Redemption 2. Have hardly touched it. Main reason is that I found it very slow to get into. There's that. Also the fact that it's on Xbox One means I've got to play it downstairs, which is a bit of an inconvenience for me. So there's that. Excuses, I know, but I'm just so busy with all the other stuff going on for my channel. Yes, I haven't really had much time to get into that, but I will one day. I do want to get into it because I know that the story is really worth playing for, and I've got a work colleague at the moment who's just, he won't shut up about it. So one day I'll give it a chance. And I've also been buying up some games for the PlayStation 3. Long story short, I used to have a PlayStation 3, gave it to my brother because I wasn't really playing it, and then a week after I gave it to him, it blew up. Yeah, that's how luck works sometimes. But all these years later, I decided that it was probably worthwhile getting back into the PlayStation 3 and trying to, you know, get stuck into some of the JRPGs on that console. Now these aren't JRPGs, but well, I've basically got a zero library on the PlayStation 3, so I thought I'll take advantage of some of the sales that are going on, and I managed to pick up PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, you know, poor man's Super Smash Brothers. It's actually quite addictive, and I have actually got this on the Vita, but I just wanted to see what this plays like on a big screen. And yeah, it's yeah, it's not quite Super Smash Bros. It's still, there's a good time here. You just won't come back to it as regular as you do with Smash Bros. Smash just kills it. So I would like to see Sony have another shot at this, or actually I'd like to see Sega themselves have a shot at the Battle Royale genre, if there is such a thing. But yeah, there's that. Also picked up Twisted Metal. Haven't had a chance to play that yet, but one, is it? Yeah, just Twisted Metal. It's not 1 or 2, it's the original. There you go. So yeah, I'll be getting stuck into that. And Soul Calibur 4, because, you know, physics, graphics. And we're back with some more games. We've got, well, this was a donation, and he donated a few things actually, but this was the first of them. Marble Madness for the Master System. Cameron Honns, thank you very much. I was going to call him Homs. Long story short, his surname sounds similar to the race of people in Xenoblade Chronicles, the first game. It's not Homs, it's Honns. I keep getting them mixed up, but yeah, Cam, thank you very much. Yeah, so Marble Madness on the Master System. Played the Mega Drive a bit. Oh, look at that, the hotline, my old number. There you go. I wonder what happens if you call them today. Actually, the number's 1 digit short, doesn't work anymore. Plus, we've also got Formula 1 or F1. This game's actually quite impressive for the Master System, and it's got a weird cover. So it doesn't have the grid pattern on the front, but it's got the grids on the back, as you can see there. I don't know what was going on there. I think that was a big up yours from Domark, the company Domark. Where are they? Yeah, Domark. I don't know what they were thinking when they got rid of the grid pattern. I like the grid pattern. The Master System games cop a lot of, you know, a hassle online, but I like their covers personally. But yeah, speaking of bad covers, this one's not so great. Great Golf. Look at that cover. That's it. Bit of clip art and grids. And I haven't really played this, but picked it up because it was only like $5 or something. We also got World Class Leaderboard, another golf game. I know a lot of people don't like golf games, but I think if you're patient with them, that you can get some fun out of them. So there's that from US Gold. And a couple of Mega Drive titles that I bought from Cashies here in Sydney, Cash Converters. X-Men, so Spider-Man X-Men, Arcade's Revenge it's called, for the Mega Drive. I just like the artwork on the cover, that looks pretty cool. And Arcade, I don't know, he's not really a well-known character to me. Maybe with Marvel being as big as it is now, yeah, maybe they'll do a movie with Arcade. I don't know if people will get the relevance of arcades though now, because, well, arcades aren't a thing really anymore. They're coming back, but that's a weird one. I don't know, Arcade's Revenge. Bit of an odd choice to base a game on that character. We've also got a EA game, Electronic Arts. The going price for this back in the day was $48.84 Australian dollars. That's a brand new title. I would imagine that's the price tag for back then. And Big W, which is kind of like Australia's Walmart or Tesco, Jungle Strike, and cover's a bit sticky. I think there was a price tag I removed off there or something. But anyway, that's Jungle Strike. No instructions, sadly. But it's got one of those weird and they put the price tag on the game itself. Thanks Big W, really did me a big favor there. And it actually says here, Jungle Strike, the sequel to Desert Strike, because Desert Strike was huge. Now, speaking of Cameron, he's been rather busy with the donations. He has given me a Lucy. Got to make a cover for this one, but Spellcaster on the Master System. I came close to buying this and I turned it away. It was like $40 and I thought, no, I can't throw $40 on that now. I don't really have that cash on me, and I walked away and regretted it, as I always do. But now I've got a loose copy. I will make myself a cover for that. And we've also got Sega chest. It doesn't get any more exciting than that, boys and girls. But yeah, Sega chest. That was actually a big seller from memory. And also, he's chucked my way a few of his recordings. So in case you don't know, Cameron is a guy who likes to dabble with the odd guitar. He's actually got a rather large collection of about 10 guitars of his own and a drum kit. So quite talented, the Mr. Honns. And he's got a new album out. This is an album that he's come out with called Are You Happy Now? So he's given me that. You'll start to hear some of these tunes in the background of some of my videos going forward. He's also released a remixed album of Sonic covers, Sonic 2 remixed, and another album, The Midnight Helicopters New Wave. That's his album that he came out with. 2 more to go. We've got Animal Crossing Rearranged from Cameron Honns. And last of all, Mario Brothers Rearranged. Gotta love that cover. You will be able to find his music online at Bandcamp, and I will try to put the link to it in the description below. So they're available for free if you want to download those and listen to them yourself. He's quite the generous one, that Mr. Honns. And speaking of generosity, I was in his house and I spotted a logo that I have not seen in years. Now, some of you might know that I used to work at the Gainsman, and the Gainsman originally had 2 faces, and those 2 owners actually split, and they replaced the face with another face. So now it's 2 faces, not the original ones. But the original guy that was working at the Gainsman, he went off to form a company called HES, Home Entertainment System. And as recently as a couple years back, you could actually buy brand new Atari Lynx games from there. And in amongst all the stuff that they were coming out with, they released HES cartridge for Nintendo. These were unlicensed NES games that were being released in the 80s. And we got Pipe Mania, Twin Eagle, and Metal Fighter, and Little Red Hood. I'm not sure about that cover for Little Red Hood. Yeah, anyway, it's just a peculiar part of Australian gaming history. The cartridges looked kind of weird. So that's what the cartridges, and I don't know what was going on there with I think what you could do is actually play your games while leaving this one in. It's just a weird thing going on there, and the instruction manuals are missing, so I've got really no idea as to, maybe if someone could leave a comment down below if you guys have played this, what that cartridge was all about, why it had that extension coming out at the front of it. But yeah, really rare, I'd say. I don't think there's too many of these around. I told you this was going to be a bit of a long video, so we've got to try and fly through some of these. Pez dispensers, yeah, they're a thing. Managed to get myself a Mario Pez dispenser, and also a Donkey Kong Pez dispenser. Yeah, because reasons. Speaking of knickknacks, I've also picked myself a Pac-Man projection light, similar to my Atari one that I've got here. And as you can see, they beam up Pac-Man lights in different colors, similar to the there we go, the Invaders on the Space Invaders one. They're pretty cool. More knickknacks. We've got some Space Invader gadget decals. I've got to use some of these, but I picked up a couple of these. I gave one to my neighbor, but I got a couple left. I just think these are really cool, and I'll keep one unused as a little bit of a memento. Also got myself on special, actually, given that it's hot as here in Sydney. It was actually 37 degrees yesterday, which is getting close to the 100 Fahrenheit mark, actually. We thought summer was over, but we were sadly wrong. But I got a scarf, a Street Fighter 2 scarf for the upcoming summer, and this was only, look at that price tag, boys and girls, you can't beat that. $4. It was a must buy. Street Fighter 2. Hadouken! Now we're starting to get to the business end of this pickups. There's a couple of items left here, and these are really cool. But I'll first start with a game guide that I purchased. Now I'm starting to get a bit of a fetish for game guides, and it's really sad that Primo's, I think is the name of the company, they folded. So no one's making game guides anymore, which is really a shame, because getting these guides is like half of the experience when you buy a really cool brand new game. Getting that guide to come with it and make the experience complete, it's going to be a thing of the past, and I think that's really a shame, because I like going through the book trying to find the cheats. I don't like having to Google everything. Sometimes you got to go a little old-fashioned and old school. But I picked up myself Breath of the Wild guide, $47. There was another one on sale there for, I think it was like $70, and it wasn't really that much different in size. So I'm not really sure what the difference between the two were. So obviously I went with the cheaper one of the two, figuring that it's going to be good enough to go with the game. Still sealed. I will open it. Just a matter of getting around to putting in some 100 or 2 hours into this game. Today, when I was going out just shopping for retro games in a local retro game store where I work, I was actually spotted. This is the second time this has happened on my channel. Someone came up to me and said, "Hey, excuse me, are you since Spacies?" And so, yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. And I'm hoping to make that more of a regular occurrence as my channel gets bigger. But while I was there, he said that he loves the show. He likes watching the Since Spacies show. That was his favorite part of my channel. But he quickly ran away and came back and said, "I think you better get this." So I ended up getting a Space Invaders pop, what do they call them? I really don't know what these things are called. They're just, yeah, pop figurines. I'm actually not a fan of the pop figurines, but given that this is Space Invaders and given that I've got Sonic ones, I had to get this. There we go. Oh yeah, shout out to Adam at Game Traders in Parramatta. So when you got your controllers just lying around, wouldn't you like to have a little bit more of a way to show them off, especially the wired controllers? Well, now there is a way to do so. Introducing cable guys. These are actually pretty cool. So you put your little controller there and you just rest it, and actually comes with USB chargers to charge your phone, or you can just use it like I've got here for your PlayStation 3 controller or Xbox. Most controllers will fit it, and the guys that released this, the distributors, actually reached out to me after I put a picture up on Twitter and congratulated me on getting one of the first runs of this. They somehow identified that this was one of the first batch release of the Sonic one, and just a couple of days ago they announced that they're doing a prototype for us Tails cable buddy. So if you haven't already heard, you're hearing it right now, that there will be a Tails cable guys figurine coming out shortly. I will probably get in on that action and get that. Really should look at the range and see if there's any others out there that get my interest, but I mean Sonic, I had to get that. Look at him, he's so cool. And speaking of cool, this next item is simply awesome. Now I've had this item for a couple of months now, and I will be doing a video on this in the next couple of weeks, and it is my TV from Divoom. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is that? Now the TV is a Bluetooth speaker, but it's more than that. It's actually a pixel little TV that you can see there, and these little characters and whatnot you can see on the screen, you can download those from the internet, and there are absolutely hundreds of them. It is just such a cool thing, and I can tell you that the speaker on this thing is simply loud. So the next person to donate to the channel is actually my old man. Now he doesn't really follow games, he really has a vague knowledge of anything to do with video games, so when he does send something in, it's kind of hit and miss, but when he hits, it's like the jackpot. He has in the past on his run arounds, the traps, he's managed to get me Donkey Kong Game & Watch, and he's also managed to pick up a whole bag full of loose Super Nintendo games. That was awesome, and he managed to get them for a ridiculous price, like of $10. So I don't know how he did that, but he did. But a couple of things he did send in to me. Yeah, when I said hit and miss, I wasn't joking. Style Boutique for the DS. Yeah, there's that. But he did also get to me a rather unusual one, Mascot Mania, which is a rugby league mascot, I guess you could say a platformer. A rather unusual release, and I will try and work out a way of getting this on the channel, but given that it's DS, yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a battle. But yeah, it's even got my Cronulla Sharks on the front. He also sent me in Dave Mirror 2 Freestyle BMX for the PlayStation 2. I might get around to playing that one day. Just an interesting donation. Right, so we're down to 2 items, and I'm just looking at them and I don't know which one to show you first, so I might go in order of when I picked these up. These are 2 items that I saw being sold online, and there was a lot of hype and a lot of hysteria around their release, and I didn't want to get involved in the, trying to get online and get them before it rushed out and being sold out. And so I just kind of left it alone and kind of regretted it as soon as I didn't pick up on these 2 items. I'll just show you. It's probably a good idea to just... Anyway, thanks to Cameron, I was able to pick these up. Big thank you, Cameron, for making these accessible for me. I'll start with the first one. So I may present to you the Sonic Toaster. That is right, I managed to get myself a Sonic the Hedgehog toaster. This thing is awesome. It does actually toast the Sonic logo onto the bread. However, it's not for the Australian power standards. So this thing, if I was to plug it in, will blow up. I do have a step down transformer that it will work with, but I've heard some stories about this thing that it's not exactly reliable. So therefore, if I was to plug this in and use it, it will probably burn. It's not reliable. So it's just going to be more of a collector's item than anything else, which is such a shame. It would have been cool to at least, do it once, a Let's Toast. Not a Let's Play, but a Let's Toast. And I like the description that it's got on the back there. It's, are you tired of the same old toast? Do you find yourself constantly on the go and need a quick breakfast before you head out to collect those rings? Well, do we have the toaster for you? So, I just like the artwork. That kind of artwork for Sonic is the artwork that I really get behind. It's just clean, old-fashioned Sonic the Hedgehog 91 style. And yeah, I'm just wrapped that I've managed to pick up the limited edition Sonic the Hedgehog toaster, and that will just be permanently on display in this room. So for the last item, I actually was over at Cameron's place to pick up a item that he was going to donate to the channel. And as I was about to leave, I spotted something in the corner of my eye. There was a box that was just sitting in the sunroom in his place, and it was just sitting on a bunch of boxes, and it was just exposed to the sun and just sort of looking like it was out of place. And I went off at him. I said, "What are you doing? That thing should be on display, not just sitting on top of a bunch of boxes." And that's when he turned to me and he said, "Well, actually, I was wanting to know if you wanted to buy it." And so within a heartbeat, I pulled out my phone and I gave him the money, and that was the Sonic the Hedgehog Collector's Edition for Sonic Mania. Sorry, I should say. That is just so damn cool. Now, the only thing that was not the only thing that was not in the box was the a valid code, but I've already got 2 copies of Sonic Mania on the Switch, and this is the Switch version, as you can see, so didn't bother me. It comes with the statue. It also comes with the Sonic Ring cartridge, a metal plate, like a collector's edition, and it's just such a cool thing. Wait up. So here it is. This is the Sonic Mania collector's item. It's a statue sitting on top of a replica Mega Drive / Genesis, and it even does the Sega logo startup sound. It is just so cool. The only thing that's a bit of a bummer with this thing is that one day I got to open it up and solder the power light, because the power light does not fire up, which was a flaw on all of these that got released. Minor glitch, bit of a downer that Sega did that, but still, it is such a cool item. Batteries go in underneath. There's nothing special on the back of it. So just so you can get a bit of a closer look at this thing, in case you haven't already seen it, it's got little fake headphone jack with a volume switch that doesn't go up or down, it just stays put, and fake controller inputs as well. I just think that this looks so cool, and yeah, I wasn't able to save the Sonic statues from out at West Sydney. The Sega World statues still stay there to this day, but I was able to save at least this statue. So that's going to be a permanent addition to this room, and I'm hoping to add more Sonic stuff later. I'm hoping to add those Sonic statues one day. I don't know where I'm going to put those things if I ever do get them, but anyway, no, this is so cool. I'm so glad to get this. It's just such a great addition to the collection. So I hope you guys liked my pickups video for February. I will try to get these out more often. It's just that, yeah, I had to kind of ease off the buying. It was starting to get a little bit out of hand, but I'm going to get back into it over the next few months. Before I go, I just wanted to do one last pickup, and that was a original Phat DS. It still works. This was donated to the channel from Cam Honns. Hang on a second. So Cameron, he donated this. It's still working. It's still in pretty good order, but I do want to get a few things done to this one. Now I've got an original Phat DS as well, which is a silver one that I picked up from Japan. And this one's actually an English model and a PAL release. I want to pimp this thing out. I want to actually do it up. So has anyone got any suggestions for how you can mod this thing? Is there any ideas that anyone has got to mod this DS? I want to replace the screens and I want to make it like new again. So there's that. That will be a future project that I want to get on the channel one day. So reach out to me by commenting down below, or giving me a message on Twitter for any ideas to how to mod a DS original. Don't forget also to check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/Spacies, and a big shout out, a special shout out to my Press Continue Patreon, Sendu. You guys might want to check out his website, which is www.emeraldrangers.com. emeraldrangers.com. Check out his site, and he's supporting my channel, so please, you guys, just do what you can to support him as well in return. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll be doing also some more videos coming up, but I'm having a little bit of a rest. There will be a video coming out in around about 2 weeks time. So until then, my name has been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spacies. Thanks guys.
Since Spacies.